What about you? In today's video, we're going to go through how you can cut your grass in the winter and even if you should. Let's go. With winter just round the corner, now's the time to act if you want a good lawn in the spring. By looking after your lawn, by following these tips, then whenever spring comes around, your lawn is going to spring into action like what it did there. Step one is to keep the leaves off the lawn. Now I know this is beginner level lawn care, however it's really important to keep the leaves off your lawn. Try and keep it as clear as you can, as if you leave leaves lying on top of your lawn, then they're going to not only block the light, but as they get wet and slimy, then you're going to create a space underneath them where you're going to get disease coming into the lawn and affecting them. So our first step is to get the leaves cleared off the lawn. Just as I blow these leaves out, I noticed that from a stone border here, whenever I was blowing, that I blew some wee stones over. If you're cylinder mowing, wee stones like that can really ruin your lawnmower, so you need to be very, very careful. Our next task is to cut the grass. However, before we start, I want to address something because I always get this question: when should I cut my grass? Or when should I stop cutting my grass? And what I say is, don't cut your grass in the dark because you might miss something. But apart from that, all jokes aside, you can cut your grass all year round as long as you follow these basic tips, and that's what we're going to talk about now. Before we cut the lawn, especially in the winter, it's important if we can understand the process. If you think of your lawn as like a little green battery, and it makes and stores energy, it does that, but it takes sun in the summer and it photosynthesizes, and it uses that to grow in the summer. However, it also needs to store energy for later on in the year, springtime. So if we can help the plant make and store energy, it'll store some of that energy it's created from the photosynthesis in the summer, and it stores that in its roots. So by cutting your grass at the right height and just helping it bring in some energy through the winter, then it means come the summer, your lawn's going to get off to a much better start. One of the most frequent questions I get coming into the winter: Robbie, when is the last time I can cut my grass? And I always say about 7 p.m. However, all jokes aside, you can cut your grass the whole way through the season. Well, you can if you're in the UK. If you're in America or Canada, you're obviously going to have a cut-off time due to the snow and the ice. The most important things is, if you're going to cut your grass, is that it's dry enough underfoot, it's not too wet, it's not too soggy, and it's not frosted or obviously snow. Now, I have my heated coat on today. We'll have this battery in the pocket and it makes the coat heated. But just one important thing: if you're enjoying the video, smash the like button. Another question that comes up all the time in the channel: what height should I cut my grass? One of the most important things in lawn care is knowing what height you cut your lawn at. The easiest way to do that for Joe Blogs like us is just to use a tape measure. What height should I cut my grass? I always get asked that question, and my answer is always the same. Everybody's lawn is completely different. What do I mean by that? Your grass grows at different rates. However, there's a general rule that we follow, and that's called the 1/3 rule. Beginner level lawn care 101. We talked about earlier photosynthesis and how your plant makes and stores energy. If you think of your blade of grass, and if we only take 1/3 off, then the plant can make and store more energy. However, in the winter, whenever the sun's lower and it's a different type of light, so it's not as strong, we only want to take a small amount of that off so as the plant can store that energy for the spring. To have a look at what my own grass is cutting at, just drop our tape measure in and push the grass up to it. So my grass is currently about 50 mil, or for American viewers, 2 inches. Before we cut the grass, we're going to put the lawnmower up to a higher height, and then we're going to cut a bit and test it to make sure that we're not cutting the grass too short. So we've now cut a bit and we're going to see what height we're at. So with my tape measure, I started off at 50 mil and I'm down to about 40 mil. Going to have to be quick because we're starting to lose the sun. If you've enjoyed this video and you want to find out about the worst thing you can do to your lawn in the winter, watch this video next.